How do you get more clients or clients that pay more? Like, how do you make your marketing successful? How do you sell your product effectively? Like, let's start in that video with how you get more attention for your product, right? Like, my name is Kathy, and don't switch off. I know you don't care. And that's the first message that I want to give you. People don't care about you. What they care about is how can you make them thrive and survive. And yes, I'm talking about survival. Why is that? Our brain, right, is constantly filtering the environment for information that is relevant for us. There are millions of data bytes out there. And what you get in your conscious hallucination of your surrounding is only a fragment of all of that. And it is your RAS, retikuläres Aktivierungssystem. I only know the German expression, I'm so sorry. But check out RAS, should be the same in English. That is like filtering the information and creating your perception, your reality, right? And the job of that thing is primarily to make you survive. Same applies to your clients. Their brain literally pick out from the environment what is going to make them survive and have more success, to thrive, right? So really like think about what of your product is like, which part of your product, what about your product is it that is going to help them, right? They are the heroes in their stories, and you want to give something to them so they can thrive. Does that make sense to you? If so, leave an aha to that video, like in the comments. But because what I really want to give to you is like aha moments, so you understand the mechanics. I don't want to give you any concepts. I don't want to give you any strategy or methods. I give you the mechanics so you can really see the cause and effect at play, right? Another very important aspect is keep it simple. Who confuse will lose, or so, right? I'm getting a lot out of that book for now. Really, I'm trying to wrap it up for you so you have like it's simple and on point. In the next videos, we'll also talk about your attitude towards competition. We'll talk about your attitude in sales. We talk about how you attract clients energetically, kind of, right? We'll talk about this in other clients, but for now, in other videos, but for now, let's talk about how you want to see your client and what do you want to focus on when doing your marketing. And this is like, keep it simple and focus on survive and thrive, right? And next, and I'm not going to do another video, you will survive. It's 5 minutes. It's another 5 minutes now. What you want to do is like to make, like, keep it simple, because when it's burning too many calories, right, to figure out what your message is, to understand what your product is about, like, God has literally designed your clients' brains to ignore you. It's like, it's not meant to be like, oh, what is this about? What is that about? Like, it wants to to get it. Just what do you have, right? Otherwise, too many calories, ignored. So keep it simple. Focus on survive and thrive. And the best way to really engage with your customer, like your client, in a way that he can relate, in a way that he can really see where his value is by using a story, right? This is very well described in that book if you want to go into very much detail. But basically, almost every good movie is serving the same pattern. And this pattern works. Like, there's a mechanic. Let me look that up. But basically, what you want to have is your like character. That's your client. Really make up an avatar, right? And like, what is your guy like, or your girl that you want to sell to? What's that character like? You really want to think about that person and have an avatar in your mind. With my product, right? I'm offering English word, I'm so sorry. I'm offering not really consulting, but like offering to companies to you see, whatever, I really have to work on my product and on this. But what I want to tell you is like, I've worked on that avatar and it's so in detail. I even made ChatGPT come up with an image for this guy. He has a name, he has an image, and I was like, oh my goodness, fuck yeah, this is exactly the kind of person that I'm seeing myself helping with my product. Wow, right? And it's that business guy who's like constantly in his like spinning, who has all that knowledge and doesn't know how to really lead his business so it thrives, basically. Like, I'm doing leadership mastery. Anyway, coming back to the point, like, use ChatGPT if you want to. Refer to the Story Brand framework from Donald Miller if you like to. ChatGPT is going to know that and is going to help you. But also help ChatGPT by like, do you need to ask me more questions to really be able to do that, to do work on that framework with me? Really take some time and make it back and forth and see which questions can you ask back, because in the end it's an AI. There's nothing really creative, right? It's mimicking creativity. You have to do the creative part because you can. Anyway, you have this character, and then this character has a problem. Define his problem. Just to give you an example, like, my character has a problem of like, he has read every single book in the world. He have had all these like coachings. He's like knowing about all the methods about transformation and stuff, blah, 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 blah. But still, nothing is really changing. There's still this pressure, stress, blah, blah, blah. And I really know what my client, in which situation he's in. I really know that. And you too, like, get a very specific idea on your character, your client. Champagne client. You don't want to have these like low price guys, right? If you can't scale it. But this is a content for another video. Anyway, focus on your champagne client, right? You're like the guy who's, if you want, paying you millions or so for helping you, like, for you helping him fix his fucking problem. Anyway, now he meets you through your marketing, right? And there's where you want to come up with sound bites so he can really understand, this is like how this guide is going to help me be the hero of my story, right? And so you're giving them kind of a plan. We're going to do this and that, or I'm going to explain to you this and that, so that, right? You want to show him his like version of his future when he works with you, his problem gets solved, and you also want to point out what happens if not. Failure, no success, right? If you're interested, just like 2 examples from this book and then I'm done with that. and then I'm just giving you an outlook. No, I'm giving you the outlook now. The outlook is next we're going to talk about the competition that I've already mentioned. Your kind of what the mechanics behind you being in a competitive state. Also the mechanics behind you feeling the urge, the need to sell, and more mechanics behind stuff that I have to think about first, or it will come up to my mind at some point. But now let's talk about the examples. So for you, it's getting really, like you can really like get it. For example, Hunger Games with that like Katniss, right? So Katniss has this problem. She has to survive, right? And then she meets this like Haymitch guy from who already won the Hunger Games before. So character, problem, guide, right? And he has that plan like of to endear the public to get sponsors. He has that plan, right? And now she like she get calls to do some action, and she competes, right? And yeah, there's also highlighted that if she succeeds, like District 12 is going to rejoice, and she's going to live. If not, everything is basically destroyed, right? Anyway, I'm not so good at repeating these problems, these examples. I have a problem doing that, obviously. Anyway, you get the idea. Use ChatGPT to help you. Buy that book if you really want to go into the details. But most importantly, check out my next videos, because it's not like, if you use it as a method, it's going to give you some success, but it's also very much about your attitude, let's say. It's not only your mindset, it's also your emotions, right? Just like some words regarding that, right? We have these like mirror neurons, right? And every emotion you have, every thought you basically have, is going to be perceived subconsciously by people, other people, basically, because it's like an electrical charge. They can be all over the world, basically. If you ever have looked at quantum computers and about how they separate, or like how to, when they cut a photon and then it's two of them, like I don't expect anyone to listen until now, so I can do the blah blah whatever I like to, but I find it so fascinating. So this is like Teilchenverschränkung in German. Teilchenverschränkung. I have no clue how it's called in English, but you have like some parts and they are like kind of bound together, right? So you have these like photon, you make two of them, and they are on any part of the world, and they have measured that in an experiment, right? You can look it up. It's quantum computer science or so. They change the state of the one particle and the other photon, and the other one changes in exactly the same time. There's no time and no space. And this is also what's happening to our human brains. Think of fish, think of birds, right? This like swarm intelligence. We do have that too, but we're so busy with our minds that we don't really notice it. Or we hold it to be like woo-woo. But it's science. And using it or making use of it is an art. And yeah, so the way you think about your clients, the way you think about your product, the way you think about yourself your emotions that you carry from all your past that are going to make you react in a certain way, that are going to make you show up in that world. These play a role. Your body language, very important, right? If you like, just imagine, do you want to sell my product? Not going to work, right? You want to be like, be in an O posture, like this is X, like I'm so whatever I want to represent, that I'm so like powerful, right? You're not, you're very insecure, and that's why you need to have that shell, basically. It's like a turtle. And also like so many details, the distance between your ear thing here and your shoulders, that's basically the degree of confidence you have. Like when people want to seem to be confident in their meetings, right? And then they, good morning everybody, right? And their Zoom or team meeting, not gonna work. You want to, I can't really reproduce it, but you want people to be able to show your hands, because this is like intrinsically making them relax about you and be able to listen to you more and to trust you, right? Don't use it as a manipulation. This is going to fire back. We can also talk about the mechanics of that. But you want your client to engage with you. What you also want is you only want to sell if you feel that your client needs it. If not, like, don't make it about the money. Don't. We can also talk about that, right? So many topics in my head, and now we have almost 20 minutes. But I just want to say, like, your thoughts, mindset, your emotions, your body language, and after all, like, your energy, what you're radiating to that world is so important when it comes to attracting your customers and stuff. This is going to help you massively, but it's not everything. See you in the next video. Anybody who has made it up until here, like, give that video a like or comment and or whatever. I'm really impressed.